Hi there, welcome to Terraland Soap Opera. Today I'm going to do a reading for Cancer Energy, and for this round of readings, we're going to use these Maruk X decks from their Etsy shop. And we're going to do two rows like usual. The top row I'll refer to as High Vibe Cancer Energy, the bottom row a more worldly, shadowy Cancer Energy. We all have our dualistic nature of free will. We have to make decisions in our life, and we can battle within ourselves. We might want to move forward in life a little differently, but the bottom row can just represent our comfort zone, and we maybe have to step out of our comfort zone, and we'd have to be more bold and brave and confident, or heal or grow or mature ourselves or love ourselves, And we all have these different people that we can choose to align with in our life, and maybe we could have been aligning with some people who are happy we're in more shadowy energy because they're in more shadowy energy. And they want us to stay in those jobs, friendships, or relationships. And if we were to heal or grow or mature ourselves or look at life differently or have more hope and faith and belief in ourselves, maybe we'd align with more of the people in the world and in our life that are more loving and encouraging and just and fair, you know? So some people could be battling within themselves, but it's not a personal reading, so there's always going to be people who are moving forward in a more high vibrational way, maybe than some others. You could view some people as a little shadowy. They, in turn, could view some people a little shadowy. And, so in a way, it's kind of relative. So just listen to your intuition about where you might be in the story and where some other people might be in the story. Okay. All right, we'll take those. Ooh. Okay. So, in order to move forward in life differently, the truth sets us free, and the reason for the top row's reading is the Ace of Pentacles. And in High Vibe, the Ace of Pentacles means you've learned some lessons in life. When we learn the lessons we were meant to learn from a certain phase of life or a way of living life, it's kind of like we have no interest kind of in repeating that pattern because we learned the lesson we were meant to learn, and we're kind of ready to face our fears about taking the lessons we've learned to go to the next phase of life. Just like we did age 15, going to 18, going to 21, going to 25. It's also the reason why the reading came out. So the Ace of Pentacles can be that you listen to your own more hopeful, believing nature. There could be loving and encouraging, supportive people in your life. You, in turn, could be a loving and encouraging person to people, offering people truth and love and encouragement and resources. And people could be doing that with you also. But we have the free will to align with that energy and that help or whatever, and love if we want. And some people could be like, no, I want to keep doing what I've been doing. So some people are going to repeat an old pattern, and some people are ready to move forward. In the top row, we have the dog, the main male, the devil, and the ending. So the way I read tarot, so it can apply to everyone, is that the masculine energies can represent how we're presenting ourselves in the world and how other people are presenting themselves in the world. We can all present ourselves in the world any way we want. I'm just, I'm fair, I'm stable, I'm grounded, I'm loving. I look at life from a higher perspective, but we can all wear a false mask. And the masculine cards, not male or female, can represent that some people could be operating more from their egoic nature, because we can all wear a false mask. And so then that could be a lesson that some of you have learned. Again, we can't just take people on face value. They might seem stable and grounded and balanced and loving and look at life from a higher perspective. But with some of those people, we've come to realize that isn't the truth of who they are. The reason for the bottom row's reading is the routine card, which can be, there's a way of living life that people like to live, and they don't want to step out of their comfort zone to maybe be willing. You have to get out of your ego to be willing to learn lessons. And some people can be kind of full of themselves. And You're supposed to want to be in a relationship with them for whatever reason, or indulge them in their poor behavior. You're not supposed to see the truth. You're not supposed to believe in yourself. You're not supposed to love yourself. You're supposed to make your life about me or love me and make your life about me. Whether that is your adult children, family members, coworkers, or love interests, right? High vibe people invested. You could kind of look at the dog as being your own best friend. Let's see, it says the 11th house. The 11th house is Capricorn, Aquarius, I guess. You can harness your Capricorn energy differently. And high vibe, shadowy Capricorn is represented by the devil. High vibe Capricorn is that you did the work to free yourself from things that used to manipulate you. And you have that hopeful, believing spirit from love. You know that the truth is you offer love and truth to people. If that's what drives and motivates them, they'll maybe move forward with you. But some people want to move forward with you, but they harness these energies in a shadowy way. Your own shadow nature doesn't want you to move forward in life differently. Your own shadow nature wants you to keep repeating an old pattern, or worse. It wants you to be more self-focused. The main male card, it kind of reminds me of Aries energy and Taurus energy. Aries energy is about the self. Taurus energy can be about a way of living life and a philosophy of life. Our own shadow nature wants us to keep being more inspired to keep repeating an old pattern. Because shadowy energy of the big picture is represented by the devil. It doesn't want you to give birth to something new. Our own fearful, insecure nature is afraid of moving forward in life differently. So our own mind and our fear and our insecurities, and then other people in our life who want us to keep doing life the way we've been doing it, whether again they're an adult child, a friend, or coworkers, they want us to put an end in the ending card to moving forward in life differently, because then we won't keep doing life the way we've been doing it, which they might kind of benefit if we do keep doing things the way we've been doing things, right? So our own shadow nature wants to stop us, and other people who are aligned with our more shadowy energy. So some people could be in their ego. They could be mad in the devil card. They could be wanting to manipulate, trying to control, could be attracted to you. But they want you in the ending card to stop moving forward in life differently. Let's stay right here and do this. It's like, well, this might kind of be a repeat pattern of what I've been doing. And, it's like the same old, same old. I want to give birth to something new. Do you want to give birth to something new? And they might say, well, I want to be in a relationship with you, but the devil can represent we have fear, and the ending card can be of change. I want to be in a relationship with you, but I have fear of change. Well, that would mean they might want to keep doing the same old thing, and it might be the devil kind of indulging in some type of relationship with you that maybe isn't about giving birth to anything new. But the ending card, looking like a coffin, of course, reminds me of the Scorpio death card in tarot, where it can be, I want to be in a relationship with you, I want you to work here, I want to be your friend, I want you to keep indulging me. But again, nothing new grows there. Nothing changes. And there's some people who don't want to change. They are kind of bossy, controlling, think you should indulge them in their poor behavior. And they don't want you to move forward in life any differently, because they don't want to move forward in life differently. If it would require them you're going to harness these energies in a high vibe way. In your Capricorn energy of self, you don't want to be in more toxic, controlling, prideful, egotistical, manipulative, same old shit, different day. And in your own Aries and Taurus energy, you are inspired to take the lessons you've learned from life experiences and incorporate those into how you make decisions moving forward. And part of that is facing your fear. You don't want your fear or your insecurity or your immature nature, prideful nature, whatever it is that can manipulate you. It can even be that people use your loving nature to try to manipulate you. I am done letting people use the fact that I have love for them to keep trying to manipulate me, to keep indulging them in poor behavior, or hoping one day they'll take inspired action about their own shadowy ways of being and put an end to it. I've already probably offered them truth and love, and they keep harnessing these energies in a shadowy way. Apparently, our truth is different. So, I'm going to take inspired action about things within myself and people in my life to see the truth of it, because the truth sets me free. There are some people in my life that are looking to be in a relationship with people who they feel they can manipulate and control. I can use the love that you have for me, or the fact that you want this job, or the fact, whatever, that to try to manipulate you. And it's like, no more. And then high vibe Aries and Taurus energy is being a leader in the world and walking the talk. And if you've been trying to inspire other people, walking the talk, offering people truth and love, and other people keep making the free will choice to say, no, I'm not doing that, but you do that, that's great, that works for me. How about you be that type of person, I be this type of person, and we keep being friends or hanging out together or being in a relationship, workplace, or marriage together. And the high vibe people are like, no. I wish you peace and love, but I'm moving forward with or without you. And if you keep acting in these shadowy ways of being, and I might have already decided I'm done. Scorpio energy in the death card can mean I've kind of worked through all the confusion, and, Scorpio can talk about, we're these emotionally complex human beings, and we can have a lot of conflicting thoughts about people in our life. And we kind of get to the truth of it. Love is supposed to be just and fair. You're supposed to treat other people the way you like to be treated. Are you willing to grow and heal and mature yourself? Some people haven't been willing to do that. And we're done investing in them. And maybe some people have some people in their life who are, you can look at the dog maybe as someone who's kind of willing to indulge someone because they want to be in a relationship. They want them to work there, So it's kind of the opposite side of the spectrum. You can have people in your life that are trying to be bossy and controlling of you, or manipulative, try to tempt you in your lust, your greed, your pride, your ego, your fear, your insecurity. But then you can have other people in your life that is like, want you to view them like they wouldn't hurt a fly. and but they also want people to not face their fears, to move forward in life, grow and mature to their full potential. You should keep staying here. I'm this loving, kind, supportive, encouraging, but they don't want you to grow to your full potential. So again, it can be someone out, they want to keep doing this type of relationship dynamic, and they want you to stay in that relationship dynamic, but you're not going to move forward in life. It's just like you could have a friend and say, like, depending on how old you are, but it's kind of the same thing where I want to go do something new. Like, say I want to go to college. Oh, I would miss you so much and I just love you. And gosh, I'd be so sad if you weren't here. And, I'm just kind of worried, even the loving people or people who seem loving in our life can try to manipulate you, but they go about it differently. It's kind of maybe trying to instill some still fear and insecurity in you. It's like, I don't know, and I've kind of heard about whatever, and I don't know, and how things would work out, and you know people have their own self-interest as to why they want you. Loving people love and encourage you to face your fears, to grow to your full potential, because it works for them. And some people want to be in a relationship with people who are more lapdogs and indulge them. It's like, whatever the case, I am dealing with the truth of all the different people in my life. If there's people who want to indulge me, I don't want people to indulge me. If I know people who want people to indulge them, sorry, that's not me. If you're not willing to grow or heal and mature yourself, I've already been in relationships who don't want to do that. Shadowy energy can be that people are more about themselves, regardless of what zodiac sun sign they are. Everyone can harness shadowy Aries energy. Shadowy Capricorn, shadowy Scorpio, shadowy Ace of Pentacles, Capricorn, Virgo, Taurus. What is your truth? What drives and motivates you? Do you want to overcome things that manipulate you, or do you not? Do you want to see the truth about what manipulates you, or do you not? If I feel like things are manipulating me, I want to get to the truth of it. So then we could kind of look at the routine card as maybe kind of like Earth sign energy of Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, where there's a part of us in our Earth sign energy. We're all kind of caught up in things of the world and motivated by things of the world, and we can all really be motivated to want stability and security and be in relationships, be in friendships, have a job. And I do think the aspect of ourself that is kind of the last one to come on board, that kind of instigates change, is our fire sign energy. Because in our heart, in our mind, in our worldly nature, we can live our life a certain way. It seems practical and logical. We could have things about it we love. There could be people within it that we love. But finally, it's our fiery nature that says, I think there's more to life than this. And I think I might keep doing this more because of my fear of detaching from it and having a new beginning. Well, is that the reason why I want to keep doing what I'm doing? Because I'm more afraid of having a new beginning? If I feel like I've been loving and encouraging and supportive, and if I feel like I'm trying to move things forward, but I feel like the people in my life have no interest in change, or I do kind of think, the devil in like regular tarot looks just like the Lover's card, but it's kind of toxic. They have chains around their neck, The devil is about all these things that try to limit us, restrict us, confine us, imprison us, limit us. Are the people in our life willing to... High vibe energy is about being more independent, living your more authentic life from love is high vibe energy. I don't want to hurt anyone. I don't want to, act like a derelict. I just want to go live my more authentic life. And for some people, that is like scary, because some people might make their life all about conforming to the world. Well, why don't you just make your life about these things? And that can be like a shadowy Taurus energy, and maybe shadowy Capricorn and Virgo, that anyone in their earth sign aspect of self can harness. We should make our life more about the world, and we should act like this, and we should dress like this, and we should hang out with these people and not those people. And we should do all these things, or we should just make our life more about, because we're fearful of not doing it. that we'd have to do life differently, or we're afraid of not being in a relationship, so we stay in a relationship that we really don't even want to stay in, or we make our life just more about conforming to the world, and the devil can just be about making your life being conforming to the world. Or let's go make our life about indulging in these certain things that we think will make us happy, but we're not growing to our full potential. It kind of keeps us stuck repeating this whole pattern. It's like the devil doesn't want us to give birth to anything new. High vibe energy represented by God at the big picture. I don't think a person has to be religious, but we live in a world of duality where we have the free will to have hope and faith and believe in our dreams, where we keep shedding old layers of ourselves, working through our fears and insecurities, shedding like our skin, like my nesting dolls, where we were these different ages and we viewed life certain ways, and then we let go of those more immature ways of viewing life, or self-pity, or lustful, greedy, prideful, egotistical, self-centered ways of life to give birth to a new us. And we keep growing like to our full potential. Our own shadow nature, other people who are in shadowy energy don't want us to do that. So our own shadow nature will always try to instill fear and insecurity in us to make us do life the way we've been doing it. And then people in our life who don't want us to do life differently will try to stop us and control us and manipulate us. Everybody has the free will to live their life the way they want to live it. And sometimes we see that some people's truth and how they want to live their life, that's not my truth. And everybody can justify their actions. And there are shadowy people in the world that it's like, well, if I'm nice and friendly and I'm this way and that way, you should keep being in a relationship with me. It's like, I don't think this is my truth. Can I think you're a perfectly wonderful person? Yeah, but I don't know that you're kind of ever going to give birth to anything new. And I've already been here and I've done that, and I'm ready to move forward in life differently. And then some people think it's just and fair to be bossy and controlling and more about themselves, and think it's just and fair to manipulate people to get what they want. And it's like, your truth is different than my truth. How you want to move forward in life and what you value, it could be more about, well, I want to be in a relationship. Don't you want to be in a relationship? We should be in a relationship. It's like, why? Well, because we both want to be in a relationship. It's like, are we ever going to give birth to anything new based on truth and love and justice and fairness and listen to our intuition and go on an adventure together? Well, no. But this makes like logical, practical sense. It's like, aren't you afraid of being on your own or not being in a relationship? Don't you think that says something about your worth and value? It's like, no. I want to be in a relationship with people who inspire me and who love me and treat me in a just and fair manner and encourage me to love and believe in myself and grow to my full potential, just like I want that for them. So you see the truth, there's some people you no longer want to invest in. And some of those people could kind of be in their ego and be mad about it. We all could have had some shadowy people in our life who did try to manipulate and control us to try to get us to do what they wanted us to do. And we kind of worked through the emotional confusion of it, saw the truth of it, and no, we don't want to invest in them anymore. So they had the free will to be more inspired by truth and love, work through their own fears and insecurities, get out of their more shadowy or immature or manipulative ways of being, to invest in truth and love with us. And some of those people have had these tactics work with other people, so they thought it would work with you, and it didn't. And some of those relationships are over, and people have moved on. Could we have been more immature and had some lessons to learn? And then we'd like to, once we've learned those lessons, and we could communicate with some people in the world that, hey, I've learned these lessons and I'm ready to move forward in life differently. And you're being truthful and honest. But some of those people, just like you, with some people in your life, they don't trust you anymore. And you have people in your life you might not trust anymore. And everybody can wish people peace, but I've kind of moved on, and I'm glad if you did really learn some lessons in life and freed yourself from some more immature or whatever ways of being. I'm glad you saw the truth. High vibe people would wish other people the best. We need more people getting out of their more immature or egoic or defensive or being manipulated or not having learned to love themselves ways of being. And we can wish people peace, but sorry, that's over. I'm kind of have, when one, again, because we have that free will, that when I don't choose to move forward with these people and I move forward with these people, the other people can move on. They can work through their fear and insecurities and their self-limiting beliefs that someone didn't want to be their friend, didn't keep dating them, whatever. And they meet other people who are more on the same page as them. And I think as some of you move forward and we kind of keep going through these kind of things in our life, if we keep being inspired to not let fear and insecurity and lust and greed and all those things manipulate us, we also will find the people that are more on the same page as us at the same time. So, we can all be in relationships and people are ready to kind of move forward in life and go whatever direction they're going. And we're making our choices. And, sometimes some people came into our life and like we could have come into their life to be kind of a good example, but we weren't ready, and some of those people with us weren't ready. And then as we move forward, sometimes, people want to come back together again, and sometimes it's like we're still on different pages, right? And I believe if we keep moving forward, there's always going to be other people that we meet who might want to be in a relationship with us, and you can be a loving, supportive, encouraging person to people, but you've learned these lessons in life that people can be more shadowy. And I think you'll kind of listen to your intuition about who's who and detach from the people in your life who you don't think are aligned with your truth, aren't on the same page as you, and see who is. And some people could be people that you had disconnected from and now you are on the same page. You could meet new people that are more on the same page. You probably definitely know some people. I don't care if that person, I'll be happy if they work through some of their issues, but do I want to get back in a relationship with them? No. Because some people can learn some lessons and then it's kind of like, they're ready to be at that next phase of life, but it's like, oh, well, while you were learning that lesson, I was learning these lessons, and now I'm moving on to the next lesson, So it's kind of like, too, if you're to look at life as being like 1st through 12th grade, on our emotional maturity level and lessons that we've learned in life, are we happy other people passed classes and got to the next thing and, all that stuff? Yeah. But there's always going to be people that are further along than us, unless I can't imagine what type of person you'd have to be in the world. I mean, I think even if you're a rocket scientist, there's other people that have, because high vibe energy is about being balanced, and people can be more smart, other people can be more loving, people can have more money, other people can be more attractive, and it's really trying to find the mix of those things that are important to you, and you're kind of motivated and inspired by the same mix. Kind of sounds like making cookies. And, what kind of cookie do you like and what kind of cookie don't you like, and our tastes change over time. There could be some people who would like to be in a relationship with you, but maybe they'd have to end something they were moving forward with. And they're kind of working through that. Or people they hang out with. Maybe they know there's people in their life who will move on without them in life differently. If they were to get in a relationship with you. you know. Anyway, high vibe people are inspired to overcome anything that tries to manipulate them. Everybody else can make their own free will decisions. If anyone wants to take action towards me, communicate with me, I will listen to my intuition about who's who. And everyone else has to do that. And for some of you, because you've moved on and there's some people in your life you're not willing to invest in anymore, those people see it's over. They could kind of be in their ego about it. And the whole thing is they'll maybe just go try to find somebody else who will indulge them, who might be more hopeful and believing and loving, that will make their life more about them. Let's go look at the bottom row. We have great fortune, gift, good news, whip, divine support, change, and the ship. So, we can all be kind of more caught up in the world with the dog and the great fortune. The great fortune is kind of like earth sign energy, and the gift and the good news. We're all excited, and in our fire sign energy, we're motivated and inspired by all these things of the world, and we can go make our life about all these things of the world because we're sure those things will make us happy. And other people in our life have told us if we make our life about those things, or we dress like this, or act like this, or indulge in these things, or get in these kind of friendships or relationships or marriage, we'll be happy. And again, it's to realize that sometimes there's people out there, and talking about Cancer energy, there can be people out there in the world that create the illusion like, I'm motivated and inspired by love. I'm not selfish. I'm not greedy. I'm not bossy. I'm not controlling. I'm not more about myself or ego or image, and that's not the driving factor. But some people like to indulge themselves in relationships with loving people, but they don't ever plan to detach from being more about themselves and their ego and their more self-protective, defensive nature to really invest in love. But they're hoping, because you want these things of the world, and you want to be in friendships, and you want to be in relationships, and you want to have a job, that if they present themselves as like loving, encouraging, supportive person, like they're just like you, and if it is to get married, that they want to have a family, and yes, they could want a family, but you get in the relationship with them, but in between these three cards on either side, we have the whip, which is Scorpio energy. Some people are a little more emotionally shallow and superficial, and it is more about them. And, it's the devil can be, it's all good for my ego and my image, and it looks like maybe I've changed, and it looks like I've grown and healed and matured myself, and it looks like, I'm in a relationship with a loving person, and then that makes me look like a loving person. And the change card with the car on it, of course, makes me think of the Chariot card, which is Cancer energy, which in high vibe talks about operating from a foundation of love, being more emotionally balanced. And then the Ship card is also Aries energy. And some people want to be in friendships and relationships and get in jobs because it makes them look like they've healed, they've changed, they're victorious and successful, they're motivated and inspired by love. And the whole thing is, but it's more like a job. Like that was the whole purpose, more so. Not really being motivated and inspired, isn't that what people do? Isn't that why people get in relationships? Is to create this illusion of how victorious and successful they are, and they have what other people have, and so then people view them as that type of person. But for some people, that is how they view it. And it's just for that. And it really wasn't being motivated and inspired by love. It was more, this makes practical, logical sense. And this will work. And you can stay in it for a long time. And high vibe people put a lot of work and effort to make relationships work and seem more balanced. And they are loving and they are encouraging. But after a while, the devil can just be that you got some inner conflict about continuing to move forward with it, because it does seem kind of more emotionally shallow and superficial. It's like, I thought we were all motivated to have hope and faith and the divine support in love. And I thought we were all inspired by love. And that's when you realize with some of the people in your life that it is kind of more about them, with the operating more from their ego, whether they're male or female, and that emotionally they're kind of defensive. That would be shadowy Scorpio. Like, I find my emotions maybe confusing. I might use my emotions and my sexuality and my looks and my charm and my money and all those things to get people to get in a relationship with me. But I don't really want to be in a more deep, meaningful relationship. Maybe it doesn't even drive and motivate me. Love isn't the driving factor in my life. I want these things of the world. I want to look a certain way. I want people to view me a certain way. Because in their more shadowy truth, that is the most important thing to them. And maybe some of the people that they thought they could have had that type of dream come into reality with, those people didn't stay in a relationship with them. Well, so then it's like, I'll do is logical and practical. And we could have all gotten kind of in friendships and relationships with people where, something else ended and, we did want these things of the world, so we could have gotten in relationships. But I think high vibe people were willing to put in the work and effort to try to bring that dream into reality. But some of the more shadowy people could have wanted to be in a relationship with someone who kind of created the illusion they also were that type of person, and like to be in relationships with people who it's more about creating the illusion, but it's not really love, but it would look victorious and successful. And then sometimes a more shadowy person is in a relationship with a more inspired by love person, and it's a mismatched relationship. And then it can be challenging for both of them, because eventually, kind of as time goes by, we do get kind of more inspired, where we really want to live our more authentic life and hang out with people who want to live life the way we want to live it, and be with people who are driven and motivated by the same things we're driven and motivated by. And so then it can get to be where both people kind of want to end the relationship. It's just that sometimes the people who are more shadowy, if what they have to offer people in the world is more not love and being more inspiring and loving and authentic, it is more their ego and their image and their status or their looks or whatever they got going. Sometimes, and they maybe could be a little bit more about ego and image and money. And so then they could be afraid, if I work with the people that, this isn't my truth anyway. I don't even want to do a deep, meaningful relationship. I could get hurt doing that. That is the danger zone, Shadowy people could view loving people, you're like the competition. You are aligned with a whole different philosophy of life than I like to live my life from. So they could view loving people as like the danger zone. I could get hurt here. And I don't want to do love. I'm okay being in more emotionally shallow, superficial relationships where I can't get hurt. I don't have to get out of my ego and my fear and my insecurities. I don't have to do any work to free myself from those things that manipulate me. I'll just go get in a relationship with someone who is more on the same page as me, but they might not want people to know the truth of that. So, and they might, it can get to the point in a relationship where the loving people do want people to kind of detach, and they're more defensive or egoic or bossy or controlling or whatever ways to really bring the dream into reality based on a deep, meaningful relationship. And that is really causing them a lot of inner conflict and stress or whatever. that then they might take action, and part of it can just be being bossy and controlling and hurtful and unkind in order to get the loving people to leave. And I'll confuse people about the truth of who you are, because my ego and image and status is the most important thing I have to offer people. And I'll try to get people to not trust you or view you as being a just and fair and authentic and loving person. And I will try to get those people that, since I have this certain status and image or look a certain way or got certain social status or money or whatever, to get those people to move forward with me. And they could even hope shadowy energy and shadowy Aries that anyone can harness is, I think, some people can be really full of themselves, and because they might have a certain status or image, and they like discredit their loving nature. If I do love, people can manipulate me and people can hurt me. I might have decided I'm going to be one of the people who uses loving people to get what I want, because I've seen that's how the world works, and I've decided I'm going to be one of the people who manipulates loving people. I'm not going to be a loving person. And then, if those people won't do what I want, I'll just, the devil is all about trying to confuse people about the truth of why something ended and people moved on. I'll create some illusion about why it didn't work out. And then I'll go out in the world hiding again that I might be more about myself, more about ego or image, and I'll try to present myself as a high vibe person. And if I was hurtful and unkind and rude and selfish and bossy, hopefully the loving people will be hurt and they'll kind of drive their life off into the ditch. And then just by default, I do look like I'm the more stable, grounded, loving, mature person. And that's the devil. The devil wants to take from people. I got in a relationship with you. It makes me look like I'm a more emotionally balanced, stable, grounded, loving person. As long as you let me manipulate you or control you, or you indulge me in a relationship, or let me indulge you if it's that way around, then we'll stay in this relationship. But if you ever get inspired to work through some of your own fears and insecurities or self-limiting beliefs to want to move forward in life differently, no, that's not going to happen. And then I might have this idea that I'm going to act in these shadowy ways to get you to leave. Even if you don't drive your life off in the ditch, I might think that I'll just go find someone who's more on the same page as me and I'll be happy. You'll be happy living your life. But some high vibe people have learned some lessons that the more worldly, shadowy people haven't learned yet. And that's that love is what makes it all worthwhile. You can go indulge in all the things of the world that you want. You can make your life about all these things of the world, but all those things of the world aren't the end all be all. They're just things. And that it's love that makes the difference. And I think as the other people keep, moving forward in their viewpoint, other people, high vibe energies, being independent, being inspired, going on an adventure, loving, free to live your more authentic life and from truth and love. And some of these people get so caught up in their ego and the image, and some of them do think I have to be in a relationship so people view me a certain way or to have a certain status or image that I'm looking for, because the devil doesn't really want to put in work to get what they have. They might put in work and effort to have stability and security, but they don't really put work and effort for love. And they might end up finding themselves in relationships with other people who are like themselves, and it's kind of boring because neither one of them are people who are more motivated and inspired by love, and it could be more superficial and shallow, or people could be equally bossy and controlling and manipulative for their own reasons. And while they find themselves retrapped in something, the other people have new beginnings that aren't repeating this old pattern. And they could have thought for sure that they didn't want to do life any differently. And so they're kind of stuck, bored, kind of repeating an old pattern. And other people are living their life in a way that other people could be jealous of. I think it's kind of funny sometimes the people who want to be kind of like go indulge themselves in relationships and they think that'll be so fun, but of course they don't. Some of them don't want people to view them like they're kind of more just in it to indulge themselves, so they have to stay in things that they don't even want to be in because they want to indulge in the illusion, indulge to get what they can get out of the relationship. Well, they're doing that, kind of getting them re-stuck in something that, and maybe actually being in a relationship isn't even what they want, but they don't want to come across like they're a player because they got to maintain this image. And the people who aren't wanting to be a player, who do want to be in relationships, but they're not going to get in a relationship for the wrong reasons, those people are kind of living their life and could have people who'd like to be in a relationship with them, but they're only going to get in relationships with people who are being, who are who they say they are. And the devil can just be, there's people who would like to be in a relationship with them, but some of those people don't want to do love. So it's like having someone who looks like a boss and a leader in the world, who is like a just and fair and loving person that people would like to be in a relationship with. But either they have their own fear and insecurity of getting in it, or they'd have to quit their more worldly view of life and relationships to do love. And, some of the shadowy people wanted to be the one who is viewed that way. But because, I don't know, of ego or image or money or status, I think they get themselves caught up in things. If it's just money and image and power, they're not investing in people they're maybe not even getting in a relationship, for some. And the high vibe people want to be in relationships with people. The devil can be what challenges kind of our view of life, and it challenges us to grow and heal and mature ourselves. And other people could stay in their comfort zone with things that don't challenge them to heal and grow and mature themselves. So what's coming up for some people who harness some high vibe Cancer energy that they might not see coming? The Lover's card, the shadow side, which is the devil, and the Empress card. Why? Because of the Strength card and the King of Swords. So the high vibe people tempered their ego to be willing to deal with the truth, see the truth, heal and grow, mature themselves. And the King of Swords is Libra energy, about getting balance within yourself and standing up for what you believe in. And because they did that, they offered love to their own shadow nature, is what the devil can reference, and they're ready to give birth to something new. They worked through all the fears and insecurities of things that had them in their ego previously and maybe tipped out of balance, where they were indulging poor behavior in themselves for others. And it's like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm standing up for my truth. And if I'm a just and fair and loving person who treats people the way I like to be treated, though they could be people I love, but they're kind of shadowy, then I wish you peace. I hope it works out for you. But, I'm not going to keep investing in you. That's an injustice. So you do your life. I wish you peace. And I'm going to go give birth to something new. To go find people who are more balanced within themselves, who are the Empress. It's the Empress, so that can mean how people think and feel. I'm going to go find people who are emotionally more balanced within themselves. In high vibe Libra, both the King of Swords and the Empress have Libra. And then the Empress also has Taurus energy. People who harness a more high vibrational Taurus energy, where it's not more about the world and having a certain image and status. It's about balance again. I, like everyone else, want some of these things in the world, but I'm not willing to sacrifice loving, just, fair, balanced relationships for it. And some people think you should, and other people would. And that's okay, to each their own. Everybody has free will to manifest and kind of give birth to whatever they want to give birth to, based on how they think and feel and how they view life. And the high vibe people is like, I'm going to invest in not that, not what I did, and not what was. And I'm sure eventually I will meet some people, and the people that are in my life that are in this energy are going to keep moving forward with me, and we're going to give birth to something new. And other people are going to keep repeating an old pattern. And I think as you're in that energy, other people are going to want to invest in you because you are tempered in your ego. You're not being immature and prideful and trying to manipulate people and caught up in getting in relationships or friendships or whatever for these ulterior reasons. You are being just and fair, and you're loving, and you walk the talk. And there's other people that are like, damn, yeah. And if they're my friend, they're this just and fair and loving person. You know, I'm going to work through if I ever get tempted to be more bossy or controlling or think it should be more about me, I'm going to work through that. Because why would I give up on these loving and encouraging and it could be, though, because it does challenge people in the devil card about how they view life and maybe their more worldly nature and ways of viewing themselves and relationships and the world. And it's like, you know, we can view life differently and have different kind of perspectives, and we can hang out with different people. It's just, you want to hang out with people who treat you in a just and fair and loving and encouraging way, or not, or you feel a need to try to manipulate and control them. So, and you've tempered your ego about other people, that they're at where they're at. They're wanting to invest their time and energy and live their life the way they want to live it. I accept it. The truth sets me free to give birth to something new. And then there's some people who don't like that because they wanted to, some of those people, a way to feel powerful is to not work together with people in a just and fair way, hoping you'll keep being angry or something or sad while they go indulge in whatever they're going to go indulge in. Like, your dream didn't come into reality because I chose to be in a relationship with someone else. Like, no, I just saw the truth that my dream couldn't come into reality with you. Because you're apparently, I worked through the emotional confusion. I might have at one time viewed you a certain way, but I don't anymore. And I don't let people have that much control over my life. And I believe that if a relationship didn't work out with certain people, and if I saw the truth and saw that they're more about these other things or whatever, that's not my truth anyway. So thank you for showing me who you were. Because now it frees me up to go invest in people who are more on the same page as me. Because apparently it wasn't you. And you're going to get justice and give birth to something new. And they thought you'd be sad because you weren't going to be able to have this old pattern. It's like, thank you, because apparently that wasn't what I was supposed to do anyway. So that's exciting. What's coming up for people who harness a more worldly, shadowy Cancer energy that they might not see coming up? Oops. All right. Well, here we have the King of Wands. There's always going to be people in their life who, I view the King of Wands as Aries energy also, who are more inspired in their life, that maybe have been heartbroken in the Three of Swords, Libra energy, hanging out with some of these more shadowy people in the world. But they could have had love for them. Again, friends, family, coworkers. But eventually people work through their heartbreak out of love for themselves. Aries energy is about the self. Out of love for themselves, some of the people in their life are like, I'm not going to keep staying, trying to get other people to be more loving, to be more creative and inspired. I'm going to wish you peace. And out of love for myself, I'm going to see the truth. The Three of Swords comes after the Two of Swords, which is where you can be in two minds about things. Because, again, we're kind of tempted by these things of the world. Like, if I put work and effort to try to move something forward, eventually I see it's kind of unhealthy. And I'm never going to have a more deep, meaningful relationship. Because the other people are defensive to being inspired by love. And I'm going to go invest in the people who are more inspired by love. And the shadowy people could be heartbroken because it's like, but you love me and you always used to indulge me in my poor behavior. It's like, we can all temper ourselves to put in work and effort to try to bring justice to a situation, but we can't do it all. We can't. The Empress represents love and the devil doesn't. A house divided can't stand. If we're going to move forward in life, we have to be moving forward in the same truth. And eventually people see that the shadowy people's truth isn't love. It's using, in shadowy Cancer, using their emotions more manipulatively, where the other people are more inspired by love. And the other people are more inspired to try to control people for how they benefit, trying to emotionally manipulate people. And if they keep doing this, they're going to end up in a relationship with someone who's like, either is heartbroken, who, yay, is that what you want? Someone who's like, oh, they're never going to leave. No, they're heartbroken. No, they're codependent on me. Is that your idea of the dream life? I found someone who won't ever leave. But it might not be because of love. It might be because of heartbroken. Might be because they're motivated and inspired just to be in a relationship or have a certain status or image. That seems just and fair. Do you want to be in relationships more for those reasons, or someone who challenges you to heal and grow and mature yourself, that you are attracted to, that challenges you to grow and heal and mature yourself and temper your more worldly egoic nature, or not? Well, the people who do have quite an exciting life. It has that spark, it has that love, it has that passion, is what the devil can mean. And the other people look like they have it all, maybe, but they could be heartbroken. But I guess if that's what drove and motivated them, that's what they manifested. So there you go, Cancer energy. I wish you peace, love, and joy, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.